This is the new Pagani. It's not an S or an F or an RS or even the fabled LH. It's not a Zonda at all. This is the brand new car. This is the Huayra, and we are lucky enough to be the first journalist, the first magazine in the world to drive it. So the basics then: 6-litre twin turbocharged V12 this time, 7-speed sequential single clutch box, 730 horsepower, 811 pounds-foot of torque, and with all the fluids this thing probably weighs 1,500 kilos. The power to weight ratio is through the roof. This is proper Veyron performance. So the biggest change with this car, there are lots and lots, but fundamentally the biggest one is the change from normally aspirated to twin turbocharged. The beauty of the Zonda was always how it responded to the throttle, how pure it felt as a supercar. This thing, we were worried that that would all be gone, but AMG have done a mega job with this engine. The throttle response is superb, and the performance is absolutely nutty. So this has got a 7-speed extract box. To be honest, it's a little bit clunky when you're slow-speed manoeuvring. It's nothing like the best of the twin clutch, and not as good as the last of the single clutch from Ferrari. But when you're up to speed, it's brilliant. It really suits the character of the car. The gearbox at the back is actually transverse, so the whole drivetrain is shrunk up inside the wheelbase. That means less tendency for roll oversteer or snap oversteer. You always feel like this thing's absolutely on top of the masses in the middle of it. So how does this thing feel generally? Well, it feels really fast, it's quite supple, which is a real Pagani trait, but it's not soft, it's not all springy and soft and old manny. It feels like a proper supercar. I love the gearbox, I love the kick of the gearbox. I think that manoeuvring speeds it is pretty poor in some respects, but when you get up it, the character of this thing changes and it becomes a proper big boy's toy. One thing that's unique about the Huayra is the active aero. So it's only ECU, and it does some crazy stuff. There's active at the rear and at the front. They tell me it works. All I know is that the car feels stable, really stable. How much of that is the aero, I'm not sure, but it's a really cool feature. Well, for me the steering is a bit slow and a bit heavy. This is a lightweight supercar, and yet the steering's quite heavy, and it never gives you the sense of agility that you expect. There's quite a lot of understeer built in. I think that's fine with this car, I have to say. With this power delivery, this sheer amount of power and rear-wheel drive only, a bit of understeer is no bad thing. Loads of traction, loads and loads of traction, even in second gear. But that means when you overcome the traction, you're right in that angry part of the revs, and you have to be so on top of it, otherwise it gets out of hand really, really quickly. So it's been a real privilege to drive this thing. It's a nutty car. It's got a character all of its own. It doesn't feel as light and as agile as the Zonda, but it's very refined at low speed, and then when you go for it, it's so demanding and exciting, and the engines are nuts. So it's really cool. It's £1 million, give or take. You know what? It actually feels it.